chilling with the homie Ty. And if you stay up all night, it's still going down. We know how to get the job done when you working out. Independent hip hop and R&B, yo, they call me Mo Beast. This track is all me. On fight night, we follow the bright lights, and I'm married to the money. I'm throwing it like rice. This right here is for the cage fighters and ball players, those that earn but with nothing to do with pallbearers. Music interviews, fashion, 24/7, Big 10 states. We do it with a passion. This is nothing new. We've been at it a long time now. Since 1974 radio. Just open up your ears and eyes and watch how it goes down. Since 1974 radio. 1974 radio been here a while. Since 1974 radio. Now open up your ears and eyes and watch how it goes down. Since 1974. Welcome to Ty House. You are on his show now. It's about to go down. You know what it is when you see that flow sticking out. Since 1974 radio. Yeah. Since 1974.
No camera today. Cameras on? Oh, we camera and everything. So what's happening? We live? Today is February 1st. It's the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Cash the checks to get up. Wake up, wake up. It's the I Am the DJ show since 1974 radio.com. The Midwest best in your independent hip hop and R&B. I got my baby girl by my side as my co-host once again this week. Kenny Mandela is in the building. As usual, we got the homie Ty House behind the boards with the production magic. What's going on, my brother?
Slow motion, man. You know, we just making it happen here on a Wednesday. Turning up.
Here, have a cookie, my child. Man, it is a beautiful day. The sun came out for what seems like the first time in a couple of weeks that I done seen it. The snow is melting, and God has smiled upon us on today, which is the first day of Black History Month. On my agenda of things that I had to write down, Black History Month is actually towards the bottom, because I put a little space in there because I kind of want to talk about a couple things regarding that. So you know what? I will stay organized, and I'll just say that I'm going to save some of my thoughts for that for later. But sorry, we apologize. I missed you last week. I don't know what. I think I got sick last week. There was a lot of sickness in the household. Baby was sick, mama was sick, I was sick. Everything's good now. We back and we ready for action. What you been up to, Ty? I think you done hit a couple different areas since we last spoke.
Have I? Shit, man, I be so many places I don't even know. Let's see.
I was Myrtle Beach.
Oh yeah, that's where I was. Yeah, man. Myrtle Beach was cool, man. It was a slow time being a tourist area down there. You know what I'm saying? Myrtle Beach is big, like spring break. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was a slow time, but it was still 70 degrees. You know, oceanfront part, a hotel. So you know what I'm saying? Just staring out at the ocean, hearing the waves crashing on the beach all night, falling asleep to that was amazing. The weather was amazing. The fights was amazing. We went down there to film team MMA. You know what I'm saying? With just 2-on-2. And if your homeboy get his ass kicked, then it's 2-on-1. You know what I'm saying? So that was really exciting. The second time that it's ever been done here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So that was dope. Then I was in Mansfield last week. Some old dope MMA. Headed to New York this week. I'll be in Detroit and Philadelphia next week. And, you know, we moving, man. You know, we moving.
You got to do that. So the one that you was in Myrtle Beach, that was the group fight, right?
Yeah, team MMA.
And it was 2-on-2.
Yep.
How did that go?
Man, it take place in like a cage that's like, it's a square cage. It's not a regular MMA cage. It's kind of like American Gladiators, because it has obstacles. It has 3 different obstacles in the cage with the fighters. And they fight for 3 2-minute rounds. And what it is they go at it, man. And if they get on the ground, like if I take you down and I don't make you submit within 10 seconds, they stand us back up. So you know what I'm saying? It's constant action. It was so much action. It was difficult to film You know what I'm saying? Like
because it was so much going on.
it was so much going on.
So
like
single camera or double camera?
we had like 4 cameras. Actually, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 cameras. So and still it was too much. You know what I'm saying? I think you might need 6 cameras to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, to really get an audience built up for it, they're gonna have to allow cameramen in the cage, and that wasn't possible.
Do you think that format could ever make it like to a big
Definitely.
big stage?
Definitely. I seen recently. I mean, me being a MMA guy, filming MMA, I kind of, not to, I try to stay humble about it, but not to boast. But I'm kind of in the MMA inner circles. You know what I'm saying, and dealing with several different leagues, and to see the buzz, to see how everybody was buzzing, like, I had so many different leagues hit me on the Facebook like, hey, can you go live from this event? I just want to see what's going on. And it's like, no, go to Flow Combat. Right. Same as your event.
Ain't no live.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Right, go live.
I seen the funniest live little Vine video snippet when I was scrolling this morning. And at first, I thought it was real.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I realized that it wasn't real, I allowed myself to laugh at it. But it's you might have seen it. It's a dude, and he's at somebody's funeral, and he's going live, like selfie style, right in front of the casket, open face casket style. Yeah. So it's a quick one. It's a quick, probably like 10-second video. Yeah. And he starts off, and he's like, man, this ugly ass nigga right here, say I won't smack this nigga, and smacks him. Like loud sound, everything. The dude head move over. He just head move over, and you hear people screaming in the background. Like you hear like a shriek, and so I start going to the comments because you can't just see something and think like you got to go to the comments and see what people talking about and find out. So I go to the comments and find out that it's fake and it's actors and it's a skit, you know what I'm saying? But it was good as hell. They got me, man. But I was like, man, I mean, it was... Stop it.
Get them. Show them your voice is ready.
Even before, Kennedy, I knew it was fake, it was still funny. I mean, like,
shit out that damn motherfucker.
Because damn well, all right, ain't nobody doing something like that at a funeral and getting away with it.
Right.
Like even if you now, I would definitely say that at some point in the history of humankind, somebody has got violent with a corpse at a funeral.
Yeah,
like
no
the
doubt,
percentages
no doubt.
just say like ex-wife, just somebody who really had a grudge.
Right.
And then you talk about substances being involved potentially.
I want to talk more about going live from a funeral. Like, do we do that? Is that something we do? Is that something that we can, anticipate seeing more of? Is that something we want to see more of? Like, I mean, I understand, like, if your loved one died and you're not able to make it, you know what I'm saying? But, damn, do everybody need to, you know what I'm saying, be at the funeral seeing dead people? I didn't go to the funeral maybe because I ain't want to see this dead nigga, you know what I'm saying? I ain't want to come on my social media and see this dead nigga too, you know? Like, and I mean, man, speaking of that, I just lost a homie the other day, you know what I'm saying? So, it's kind of hard speaking on death, but I'm so used to it. It's just amazing. Like,
isn't that I mean, it's a shame. I was like that. I say probably about maybe 10, close to 10 years ago, because it was like right after I graduated high school for about 4 years, man. And actually 5 or 6 years, I'll say, from about 2004, 2005 to 2010, man. I probably lost one person a year that was close to me, ranging from cats that I went to school with to like my uncles, you know what I'm saying? So it was like every damn year, man. hitting up a funeral. You know what I'm saying? Every year, and it, like you said, it becomes like you get desensitized to it. Yeah.
But at the same time, when it do happen, it give you time to sit up and think and reflect
Yes.
on not only their life but your life too. Like,
Yes, sir.
you know what I'm saying? Okay, at this point in time, what do I need to be doing different? I mean, you get to thinking about stuff like my homeboy died a week ago, like, you know, and I ain't find out till after the funeral that he had, you know, that he had died. Like,
I saw you had posted that, and I was like, damn, you know, that's one of them things where you just like.
I mean, look, I was on something else, looking at something else, like, what's wrong with her? Let me make sure she good. And then I'm on her page like, wait a minute, what's this picture of what the homie doing?
Now, you said that was a homie, right?
Yeah, man.
Now,
like,
has that ever happened to you with like a family member?
Where I didn't know?
Yeah, with like a family member where you found out through social media or something.
That family had passed away?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
What else? Let's talk about this for a second. Things that you find out on social media. You know, like, what? I think that there's certain people that you expect to hear things from.
Right.
In real life.
Right.
Like, you don't want to hear about that on social media.
Right.
From certain people. Like, you would expect certain people to like hit you up and tell you about it before they went live with it. So I would say for you, for example.
Okay.
I would say your children.
Right.
You know what I mean? If they was getting engaged.
Right.
You would expect them
I should be one of the first people. I should know before you is thinking about getting engaged.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you were there when I had a conversation with my daughter last week about something similar to that.
I don't think I might have been in the room, but I don't think I knew what was going on.
No, you wasn't. I was in Myrtle Beach. Okay. And my daughter called me, playing, you know, just goofing around, like, "Hey, Dad, I want you to meet my husband."
Ooh.
And I'm like, "What? Yo, who?" And she put some dude on the phone. Dude get on the phone like, "Hello." I'm like, "Who is this claiming to be married to my daughter?" You know, he's this such, and yes, we have a child. And I'm like,
oh,
you know,
man,
he named the child, you know, her dog is their child, or blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm at work, so I'm in Myrtle Beach. I'm like, hold on a minute. I say, put my daughter back on the phone. I say, look, lady. I say, you crazy, but you ain't as crazy as I am. I say, so I'm gonna get off the phone with you, and she say, Mama didn't tell you about it? I said, well, I'm gonna call your mama. So I got off the phone and instantly called her mama, like, what's going on? Her mama like, nah, she just messing with you. And I'm like, well, you need to tell her not to play with me like that, because she not as crazy as I am. She might think so, but she not. So I called her back and let her know, like, look, hold on. That's something we not gonna play with. We're not gonna play with grandkids, and we're not gonna play with the whole little marriage thing. We can play about a lot of stuff, but
that's not included.
Yeah, that's not included.
Man, bro, I be having, just cause, you know, I mean, she'll be one in a week, so I'm not quite yet dealing with issues God,
bro.
Deep. But I mean, just even like,
don't even get me started.
We'll be somewhere, and you know, there might be like a little baby boy or something somewhere. You know, she'll get the looking at the little boy, and I'm just kind of like, you know, my wheels just get to spinning. Like, damn, man, like
it's amazing.
It's
bro.
Gonna be here. And then I tell you what scares me, and it doesn't really scare me, because I don't get scared. I get prepared.
Right.
Okay. So the thing that makes me want to prepare mentally for this and how to prepare her is I start thinking about the things that I was exposed to and the way my thought process was when I was 6, 7, 8 years old. No, of course I didn't know everything. That's not what I'm saying. But I think that if a lot of people are being honest with themselves, they knew a lot more at 7 and 8 years old than they're willing to give their kids credit for. I hate when I see people, you know, talking, and, you know, I'm not here to judge people about how they raise their kids, to each their own. But I'm just saying, if we're talking about how to advance our society and how to, evolve as people. I think that's one thing that we definitely gotta look at is, and it's not saying don't subject your kids to these things. Like, that's what I'm saying. Don't hide it from them, but at the same time, understand that they're watching you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, don't do shit in front of them thinking that they don't know what you doing.
And see, and 150,000% correct, and really, really digs to the baby moms. Like, y'all really gotta watch how y'all act in front of these kids towards the baby dad. I mean,
Right.
no matter how you feel, whether y'all together or not, and I'm mostly speaking on if y'all are not together. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta watch how you conduct yourself when dealing with the baby daddy around the kid. Like, even when the baby daddy ain't around and y'all might have done had some type of issue and you feeling some type of way, you got to be able to go, like, in the closet to yourself and vent that frustration.
Right.
Don't put that out there for that kid to see, like, and don't try to coach your kid, like, to be a certain way around the baby dad. Like, that shit is whack as hell.
Man, it's crazy because I'm still seeing that happening out here. I'm still seeing it, and using the kid for ransom, and it's just, who is that really?
Not just
benefiting?
ransom to play games, all
Yeah.
that is crazy. Do not, I mean, like,
Because they didn't get what they wanted.
it ain't even about that. I guess I'm speaking on from a personal issue.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
like,
speak
you know
on
what I'm
it.
saying? It's like,
Speak on it, brother.
it's like, don't because that's our tie. Our child is our tie. Don't continuously use that tie to keep me at bay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not together, but every time you think that it's officially finality, if that's a word, you want to try to pull the family card. Don't do that. Like, don't do that shit. Don't want to be a family 1 month and then don't want to have nothing to do with the nigga. the next month.
Sometimes
shit
I
is
like
crazy.
to look at humans like the animals that we are. And when it comes down to it, we're all going to use whatever resources we have at our dispense to get what we want.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of times that manifests itself when women they have that leverage. You know what I mean? So they gonna use it. I tell you something that women don't leverage enough. A lot of women out there don't leverage enough, and they waste the pussy.
Yeah.
Um,
It has
they're
magical
not.
powers.
They're never. It seems like they're not properly taught how to utilize it properly.
But who's the teacher though? Like, who's gonna educate them on how to properly?
You know what? That's a very, very sensitive subject for me because I sit here with my 1-year-old daughter and I contemplate that. Like,
Is it
I'm
you?
gonna have to have this conversation with her. Like, I really am. You know what I mean? Like, because I know her mom's not gonna have it with her. And it's reality. It's reality. I'm not gonna pretend like I live in a world like my daughter doesn't have. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. It's a lot of people out there. Yeah, it's a lot of people out there that be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're talking about it. But no, man. I'm going to raise this little child like a little woman. I don't want her walking. I don't mean that like I want her in high heels and lipstick and carrying around purses. That's not what it means to be a woman. You know, to me, what it means to be a woman is like the same thing that it means to be like a man. Except I do attach a little bit of the gender-specific stuff to it as far as how you carry yourself. I feel like women, I hold women to a higher standard. That's what I hate when I see women talking like dudes, man.
Right.
Talking about.
I hate to see women smoking Black and Mild cigarettes. Ugh.
I don't. Yeah, the Black and Mild and the cigarettes is just like, damn, baby. But even
She be
more
fine
so.
as hell. She probably black and mild. I'm like, where am I
Like a black and mild baby girl. Is that what you really want to do? Let's hit a quick song real quick. Can we play New Chick Alert? By Lord Grants. Big shout out to Lord Grants. I want to hear this one. And then we're going to come right back and start with the rundown of some of these topics that I want to hit. Also make a couple of moves. Maybe I might even change a diaper if you're watching on TV.
Let's do it.
This is Lord Grant's New Chick Alert on since1974radio.com.
Chick alert, new 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 chick alert. I seen you when you stepped up in the club. I was chillin' with my people sipping buzz. I never say I'm on it, but I'm watching, got me watching. Miss Lady moving different and she poppin'. Everything about her is the bougie type. She tried to keep it cool, but she deserves it high. I stepped up to her smooth and then I say hello. She quickly checked me head to toe and said, what's poppin', yo? Chick alert, new 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 chick alert, chick alert, new chick alert, new chick alert, new chick alert, new chick alert, chick alert, new chick alert. Her personality was quite refreshing. She had morals and respect, that was a blessing. When she dancing, you could tell she had some thought in her. She in the mirror, booty popping, I ain't knocking her. Seen the bottles coming, then I dabbed on her. She said, you turned the baby boy and I ain't mad at you. We popped the bottle when we got back on the dance floor. We got it lit, she dancing sexy and she showing off. Paparazzi watching, got they cameras ready to video recorders, cause we rockin' steady. Running on that beat, running on that beat. Might have came in with your family, but you coming home with me. Oh! New chick alert, 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 new chick alert.
What's up, y'all? We are back. That was Lord Grant's New Chick Alert here. I am the DJ show since 1974 radio.com. My baby just bumped her head for a little bit, but she's all right because she's a Carter and we go hard. Ain't that right? But also, if you're
What she bump her head on?
man, just the, you know, the little slide thing, the little metal piece that you.
My dad's all right over there, man.
Yeah,
You like, she all right.
we all got rocks, man. We got me, her, and her mama. We got some big ass heads. Last week I had the opportunity, for probably about the 15th time in my life, maybe, to attend a live WWE event.
What?
It never gets old. It's something that if you are a wrestling, even just remotely, if you ever watched a wrestling match and ever had a conversation with somebody about wrestling and pretended like you knew what was going on, or just anything, any interest in wrestling whatsoever, and you have never been to a live WWE event, I highly suggest that the next time they come to town, you get there. They'll be there for Raw and also SmackDown in May. They'll be back out in this area in Ohio. So make sure you check that out. But I went to SmackDown at the Huntington Center in Toledo. I was almost in your homeland.
Well, you know
almost
that
there.
is considered.
It is
Toledo, Michigan.
Toledo, Michigan, no doubt. I felt the vibes. I love going over that bridge, man. That is a beautiful bridge.
The Rocket Bridge.
I don't know what it's called, but the one and it got the light in the middle of it, and that's a beautiful ass bridge, man. I like Toledo. I think Toledo is an underrated city. Definitely. You like Toledo too, babe?
They need to come on home. They'll be all right.
Maybe we could trade them for what would we want? I don't even know what we would want.
Nothing.
I'm like, what would we get back in turn? Maybe just a check. Just cut the check. Holla at us. Y'all got some rich motherfuckers up in Michigan. Maybe Dan Gilbert can broker that out for y'all. But SmackDown was dope. But the Royal Rumble was this past Sunday. Some of the highlights of the night included a victory by John Cena in the WWE World Championship match.
John Cena the champ?
Yes, for the 16th time. He is the WWE champion.
I ain't watched wrestling in a long time. If he don't win the damn title 16 different
16 time.
He is caught up with Ric Flair.
He is now tied with Ric Flair. That was my next statement. He is now tied with Ric Flair for all-time World Championship victories. And he's definitely gonna break it.
Vince McMahon gonna die soon.
And even if he does die, he's still gonna break it because John Cena is awesome, man. Anybody that doesn't like John Cena, I just ask, like, why don't you like John Cena? Like, what could you not like about John Cena? I feel like if you don't like John Cena,
you talking to me? You talking to me?
Like bad people don't like John Cena. Like, if you don't like John Cena, you're not a good person. That makes you a bad person. Because let me tell you what John Cena stands for, okay? John Cena stands for hustle, loyalty, and respect. Okay? Never give up.
I don't think the camera believed you.
Never giving up. Rising above hate. That's what John Cena is about. So if you can't get down with those things, I think like that's not somebody who I want to hang out with. Like, who's not trying to get their hustle on? You're not loyal? That, you know what? People that don't like John Cena, that's a sign to me that might be somebody I don't need to be around. Because they're not gonna hustle with me. They're not gonna be loyal to me. And they damn sure ain't gonna respect me.
John Cena a heel?
Okay, so for anybody listening that has no idea what a heel is a bad guy, and a baby face is a good guy. Those are traditional wrestling terms. But about 20 years ago, a guy came along that kind of turned the whole heel face dynamic on top of its head. And he goes by the name, damn, man, I got people calling me on my phone. He goes by the name of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he went out there doing things that traditionally the bad guys did. But for whatever reason, people loved it. So in the years since then, you've kind of seen what it means to be a heel and a face kind of change, because the fans are gonna like who they like and they're gonna not like who they don't like. And just like in real life, a lot of times with people, if somebody you like, okay, does something that you might not necessarily agree with, you might not speak up on it. you might give him a little pass and say, you know what? Oh, he was mad. He's just getting revenge. But so that's what you got going on in WWE. So with John Cena, he goes out and he does things that traditionally, a good guy would do. But for whatever reason, the fans, like the grown adult fans, most of the time, they don't like him. But there's a lot of guys. When I go out to wrestling events, there's a lot of guys like me that are grown-ass men that are possibly fathers or maybe mentors, leaders of young people that recognize that John Cena is he's the walking embodiment of what you try to preach to kids every day. He's physically fit, he's well-spoken, charismatic.
And he's the WWE champ.
And he's the damn WWE champion, man.
Who won the
Royal Rumble was won by Randy Orton, representing the Lou. St. Louis, Missouri's own Randy Orton, representing the Midwest.
Orton,
I like Randy Orton too.
He should beat John Cena ass.
We shall see. We shall see. I don't know if it's gonna go down.
Had they ever fought before?
Exactly like that? Oh yeah. They've had some epic battles throughout the years, definitely.
See, I'm a Randy Orton fan. I don't like John Cena, man.
But you see, here I go right back to what I was just saying. Totally cool to like Randy Orton, to be like, okay, yeah, I like the way he wrestles. He's a great performer. But when you get past that layer, it's like, okay, what does Randy Orton represent? Do you know what Randy Orton's moniker is? Do you know what they call him?
What is his moniker?
He's a goddamn viper.
He's the Viper.
You know what a viper is?
A
motherfucking snake.
Hey, who are some of the other motherfuckers John Cena done battle with that has some epic battles with?
Oh man,
I bet you I'm probably gonna like everybody on the other side.
That he has battles with. Most recently, man, he just had some good battles. Who he beat for the championship was AJ Styles. Now, I love the story of AJ Styles because he's a dude that wrestled on the indie card. He was in TNA for a long time. And, TNA finally bit the bullet, man, and folded. And all those guys are coming over to WWE now. And usually when guys like that come over, Vince doesn't let them shine, man. He gives them a check, but he uses them as fodder to build up his other guys. But this guy was so good and so well respected that he couldn't do that to him. Because every time he went out there, the fans chanted his name louder than anybody else's name. He was getting pops just as big as the biggest guys they were pushing.
Right.
So when it comes down to something like that, Vince ain't dumb. He gonna give the people what they want when it comes to something like that. But you gotta really get that overwhelming support for somebody if you want them to do that, or else they just gonna get buried just like everybody else. Baby, this is my rundown. You can't take my rundown. We gotta talk about this. Just don't eat it, okay? Pass it to me. This Sunday, we have coming up the humongous battle. The Giant Walk. I'm not going to call it what it's called because they don't want you to call it what it's called. It's a gigantic food receptacle. It's the big old toilet.
I have no idea what you're
It's the
talking
large version of what your mama used to put on your head when she went around with the clippers and cut it. A big one.
about.
I'm not going to call it
He called it the large walk. That was fucking
the
stupid.
Giant Walk. I'm not going to call it.
Why?
Because they want you to pay to call it that. I'm listening to, because I was listening to a B-Dubs commercial, and I pay attention to stuff, so I listen to this. And if you listen to the commercials, okay,
They say the big game.
yes, they won't say it because they have to pay them if they say it.
Right.
And you know what? I'm cool with that. You know what? I'm not gonna advertise your shit. If you want me to pay you to advertise your shit, that's some super hustling, ain't it?
It's like they want you to pay. They want you to pay to perform at the halftime show.
Not the headliner though, right?
Yeah.
She's not paying to perform. I couldn't imagine that. I feel like the way that happens is because there's a sponsor. So I feel like the sponsor is paying for the performer. But I don't think that there's any way, because she doesn't, like Lady Gaga, who's performing at the humongous man, what's another here? You know what? I'm gonna go on thesource.com. let thesource.com do the heavy lifting for me. Yeah. Ooh, me, oh my. But at this big game, there's going to be a battle between the Atlanta Falcons and also the New England Patriots. I believe when I picked my Super Bowl, I think I had Cowboys Steelers back whenever that was, earlier in the year when we were doing our Super Bowl picks. Yeah, I think I had Cowboys and Steelers. So obviously neither one of those teams. But I think at that time I acknowledged that I believe that the Patriots would actually be the Super Bowl representative for the AFC. But I thought it's just boring to keep picking them. And it was kind of clear earlier on in the year that they were the best team. And not only the best team, but the most consistent team. You know, Pittsburgh looked good early on, but then they lost like 3 or 4 games in a row.
Right.
And
They lost their quarterback, as usual.
usually
Right.
championship teams, you know, they don't lose 3 or 4 in a row. And Big Ben talking about he might retire, and you know, so it's I think it's gonna be a good game. I'm definitely rooting for the Falcons 1,010% for a whole bunch of different reasons. I'm rooting for the city of Atlanta itself, which is kind of like the unofficial black capital of the United States. Yes? No? From what I understand, the Baltimore D.C. area is very, very black. Okay, but as far as culture, okay, is concerned, Atlanta definitely has kind of taken over the hip hop scene, influencing everybody everywhere. You know, and also you're seeing the dances and also things like the TV show Atlanta, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Little Women of Atlanta. Atlanta is a hotbed for black culture right now, and not just black culture, black American culture, because black is American. But we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. We're gonna get into that. Kennedy Mandela. Happy Black History Month. Here, have a cookie, my child. You want the bottle? Drink. Chill out. Who you got in the Super Bowl, Ty?
You see, you went on that whole rant about Atlanta, and I got quiet over here.
Oh, you going for Pats?
Nah, I'm going for Atlanta, but I ain't got nothing to do with the city of Atlanta and state of Georgia. Period.
You just like the football. Oh,
I don't even like the football team. I like they coach. I think it's time for something new. I mean, I like the Patriots. The Patriots got a hell of a shot to win the Super Bowl, but I mean, you know, how many times is we gonna see this show? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of getting boring.
Let me ask you a question.
Easy to root against.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's very easy to root against. This is the 7th time in the last what, 16, 17 years.
Right.
That I mean, which on one side of it, it's amazing.
It is.
Much respect. I think it's a absolutely amazing feat. But like you said, at the same time, it's getting kind of boring.
I mean, you know, I've always been one to go against the grain. So like, I've been like, when the Lions got put out the playoffs, I was Atlanta, and I know the people in Atlanta was Atlanta, but you know what I'm saying? I started seeing motherfuckers jump on the bandwagon as the playoffs started rolling along. Like, man, Atlanta might win the Super Bowl. And now that they actually in it, it's a lot of people going for Atlanta. When I wouldn't be surprised to see New England win it, but I think I want to see Atlanta win it, just like I just said, just for the sake of something new.
Will you be putting money on it?
I already got money on it.
No doubt. If Atlanta wins, do you think they should give Michael Vick a Super Bowl ring?
Hell no. Why? The fuck he do? Hell no. He should give back. Well, I guess he did give back his money that they tried to give him. He's the only person I know signed 2 $100 million contracts and they never made it to a Super Bowl.
Hey, man. Michael Vick was the man in his day. Okay?
He ran fast.
I'm telling you, and he had a rocket arm. He
nowhere.
was accurate.
Locked up.
Shout out to Michael Vick. I heard Gucci Man is throwing him a retirement party this weekend.
Gucci retiring?
No, Gucci is throwing Michael Vick a retirement party.
Michael Vick retired this year or 5-6 years ago?
I think this year was his first official year that he didn't end up on any roster. But last year, I think, was the year that Pittsburgh brought him in for a couple games. Shout out to Mike Vick, man. Black history icon. My next topic is one that is definitely close to my heart, but think.
Wait. So if New England win the Super Bowl, do they give Hernandez a ring?
Ooh. No, I don't think he get one, man. Well, you know what? I think technically he probably still on contract technically somehow. So he might be able to find a way to finagle one.
Oh, real quick though, before you go on, speaking of rings, you hear about Derek Fisher? Somebody broke in his house.
Does anybody know where Matt Barnes was?
Matt Barnes. Well, he was supposed to have been in New York because he just caught the other little case. Sacramento. He caught the other little case. Him and Booby got into it in a nightclub, and he ended up choking some bitch. So he had to fly back to New York to turn himself in.
Okay, so he got an alibi?
Somewhat. I mean, broke in there and stole all 5 of this boy rings. I mean, if that's the first thing me, you, and anybody else think about, where's Matt Barnes? You know Matt Barnes ain't had nothing to do with that.
But here's my thing, okay? If you Derek Fisher, okay, I don't know where he lived, but I assume it's somewhere exclusive,
right?
Like where other high-profile people live.
Okay.
Nigga, you don't have them rings locked up in some type of underground safe that takes 3 passcodes, an eye scan, and a DNA sample to open? Nigga, what are you doing with your money? If somebody can just run up in your house and get the rings.
He just got the bitches thrown in the regular jewelry box.
He got the bitches just sitting up on the dresser, just in the regular jewelry. Just
5 championship rings, man. 5 NBA titles gone.
Them bitches supposed to be in the bank, in the safe deposit box. They ain't even supposed to be in the crib.
Or at least on display behind a 3-inch thick glass.
And you know what? I'm gonna say something else about this. I'm gonna have to do my research on him, okay? And more specifically, do my research on his parents. But why mama ain't got a ring? Mama's supposed to have a ring, ain't she?
I'm quite sure she do. I mean,
not a replica. No, mama ain't supposed to have a replica. Yeah. And then I heard somebody discussing this, and they was hypothesizing on what he would do next. And they said, well, he'll probably replace him. And it's kind of just like,
Man, them rings got to turn up. Like,
right? What you gonna do with them? Right?
Right,
Exactly.
they gotta turn up.
Other than because the ring has his name on it.
right,
All of them, they have his name on it. So, what do you do with that?
right.
Who's gonna buy? All you can do is melt it.
I
That's
think
a straight thirst move.
I think that's some baby mama drama type, some shit.
That's a thirst move.
He done,
Definitely an inside job, right?
Yeah, his girl, the chick that he living with, he done.
Definitely an
something.
inside job.
He
right?
gonna get them back.
I heard him.
They just missing right now.
I heard something that he said about his relationship with Matt Barnes' ex, and he said something along the lines of, give me a second. He said something along the lines of, if the worst thing that you can say about me is that I'm dating, or no, is that I fell in love with a woman that used to be in a relationship with a guy that I used to work with, then so be it. And I feel him on that. Because if it was just a quick smack, I think there's something to be said. I've never been an NBA player, but from what I understand, there's kind of like a fraternity and an understanding, a brotherhood. You know what I mean? But love is love, okay? Love is love, okay? But also, if she threw it at him, that's another thing too. I don't expect any man in any situation. Well, I don't want to say any, but definitely, she threw it at me and I was him, I would have caught it. Dude, definitely would have caught it. But staying in the league, the beef. The biggest beef of the year. I knew this shit been broiling up for years. This shit has been bound to happen for years. But unfortunately, due to the fact that one of the members of this beef is a very well-seasoned beefer, and he knows exactly how to beef and how to come out looking good. It's pretty much over now. But I'm talking about the verbal public clashing of words between LeBron James and Sir Charles
Right.
Barkley. Catching anybody up, the gist of what's going on, Charles Barkley has some pretty harsh criticisms of LeBron. He basically said
Harsh?
he called him a whiner, and he said he didn't want to compete.
That's harsh?
That's kind of harsh. He said the man didn't want to compete. Them is fighting words. Those are fighting words.
He said he didn't want to compete. He said he didn't understand why he felt like he said he's the best player in the world.
Yes.
He has Kyrie, he has Kevin Love,
yeah.
and he's the present day NBA champion.
Yes.
Why is he whining about the team who has the highest payroll in the league not getting him more help when he's the greatest player in the world? Is he scared to compete? Is he scared to compete? Why is he whining?
Bro, okay. Now.
How are those fighting words? I've heard a lot
Here we go.
I've heard a lot of Cleveland people
But
themselves call LeBron a whiner.
But here's my
really when he left and went to Miami. Oh my God, he was every bad thing under the sun. So now a whiner and a.
let me start before I start saying anything. Let me start by saying this. I'm with Barkley. So
Okay.
you don't have to.
let
to
me
talk to
shut
me
up
like
and
the
let me-
typical Cavs fan.
Let me shut up.
Yeah,
and let
you
you
don't
get
have.
yours out.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You don't got to talk to me like that. I'm already on that side. I'm already on that
Fuck up
side.
over here, mute my mic.
But what I will say to you, Ty, is as a person who on many occasions and has refused to deter from it even a little bit, claiming that the Warriors are a significantly better team
Oh yeah.
than the Cavs, how can you disagree with what LeBron is trying to make happen?
I don't disagree with what LeBron is trying to make happen.
Okay.
This is my thing. And this is something that Charles Barkley stated.
Mm-hmm.
Over the summer, when it was time to make your team better, LeBron sat around and had the Cavaliers at a stalemate. He waited to damn near October to sign a $33 million contract. And then he demanded that they re-sign J.R. Smith. He demanded that they so these are the players that you wanted. This was you putting your team together. And you had to have J.R. Smith. You had to have Iman Shumpert. You weren't saying, hey, go get me a Mario Chalmers. You weren't saying, hey, go get me a Jeff Teague. You weren't saying, hey, the boy down at the Whiteside's available. He's a free agent. You weren't saying, go get him. You know what I'm saying? You were saying, go get J.R. Smith, go get Iman Shumpert, and we're going to be ready. Then you seen everybody else make – I said this to you a couple times.
You did.
And when at that parade, I heard nobody make mention
about the repeat.
About being back until last week, until LeBron said something. Unless we're not serious about repeating. That was the first time I had heard repeat from anybody mouth.
I think if I took it might take me. I don't even want to subject that, but I would definitely say that I guarantee that at some point between last week and when they won a championship, there are on wax, things Kyrie, LeBron, Kevin Love, all of them talking about repeating because that's the goal. Like that's obviously the goal. Like what you gonna talk about? Like we're the champions. Like we're the champs. Like
that's what they. That's
gonna
what
talk about.
That's what you've been talking about. That's what they've been talking about.
That was the moves that they made.
That's what everybody was talking about.
Okay, so now if we're talking about the moves that they made in the offseason, they let Mozgov go, they let Deli go. Okay, who did they add? Did they sign anybody in the offseason?
Birdman.
Right, they got Birdman and somebody else, right? Another, or they re-signed JR.
And that one guy.
Oh, Dunleavy. They got Dunleavy and Birdman. That's what they did.
Birdman.
So, but see, okay, so...
These was guys that I mean, come on now.
Now going into
you don't have the LeBron blessing.
But it's just
you're not making them move.
They had, but what's happened to them is Birdman got hurt. Not saying that he was tearing up the league before this happened, okay? But I'm just saying the plan that you had, it didn't work out. So do you just sit there and say, all right, y'all, I guess we just gotta wait till JR come back? And even though Birdman hurt, we just gonna wait and see. He's like, no, we have to, like, every month is different. Like something might happen next month where we have to do something drastic, switch up something because of an injury or because of something. So he's just saying like, look, motherfuckers, I am the best player on the planet. I just hit 40,000 minutes. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to carry this type of weight. Let's get somebody in here. Like, how much is this worth to you?
So how much of a slap in the face is that to Kyrie Irving? Like, he's not a superstar?
Oh, he always shouts out Kyrie Irving, but come on, Ty. We're not talking about winning the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, because you're a lottery team without LeBron James. You're back to the lottery.
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. Because that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about this season and what the Cavaliers' goals are and how to achieve those goals. So you're saying is Kyrie Irving not enough? No, he's not enough, because the team that they're trying to beat, potentially, most likely the team that they're going to have to beat to win the championship, you know how many All-Stars they have, Ty? Tell me, because it's your favorite team.
My favorite team is Detroit Pistons. We have
okay, it's your second favorite team. How many
All-Stars? The team that I think
that
that's the best team in the league over the past 5 years, the Golden State Warriors.
And how many All-Stars do they have on the team?
They have 4 All-Stars. How many did the Cleveland Cavaliers have?
Did Love get in?
Yes, they have 3 All-Stars.
They let him get in?
Yeah,
but
what do
you wasn't even talking about him. So, I mean, simple math tells me 4 is more than 3. Right?
Hold on. They had 3 All-Stars last year.
Who did?
Golden State.
And how many did the Cavs have last year?
They had 3.
No, we talking about last year.
Y'all didn't have 3 All-Stars last year?
No.
How many All-Stars y'all had?
I don't even think Kyrie made it.
Oh, so you had 1 All-Star last year?
One last year.
You won a championship with 1 All-Star last year. They
Yeah.
had 3. So don't,
You're right.
That's null and void
You're
with
right.
that 4 and 3. That's null and void.
I mean, but I can't be mad at him.
Okay.
I cannot be mad at him for looking across the country and seeing what's going on.
What's going on?
Nigga, they're getting better every
How?
game.
How? They got a
getting
top
better
5
every
player.
game.
You got a top 5 player.
They have 2 top 5 players.
Oh, so who?
Steph.
Steph is a top 5 player? Kyrie not?
He's a bro.
So wait, all I'm saying is wait, because I got you. I got
Right.
you right
Yeah,
now, and I'm getting this on tape. so I got you right now. So you saying LeBron and KD don't cancel each other out? And Kyrie and Curry don't cancel each other out? No?
Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm not playing around with these people about my money, man. This shit getting kind of serious.
Get them, bro. You got we only got 5 minutes.
I'm sorry. What was your question? What did you say?
Kevin Durant, LeBron James, they cancel each other out.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving
Steph.
cancel each other out.
Okay.
You would agree to that,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so what's left?
Okay, so then let's get to the next level because
Okay.
I think we can both agree that Draymond and Klay Thompson are better than Kevin Love.
Really? Because that's 20 and 16, right? 20 and 12, 20 and something like that.
I'm not,
19?
bro. What Draymond brings to the game is way beyond numbers. Okay,
So wait
way
a minute.
beyond numbers.
Wait a minute.
But just answer my question.
You gave look. This is your team that went out and gave Kevin Love $20 million. This is your team that went out
But
and
no,
gave
but
Tristan
wait, but
Thompson
Ty,
$18 million.
Ty.
So you wait. We're not gonna throw Tristan Thompson in that mix.
Ty.
Tristan Thompson and Draymond Green don't cancel each other out.
No.
I love it.
Can Tristan Thompson shoot threes?
I love it.
Can Tristan Thompson shoot threes?
Hey, no.
Can Tristan Thompson lead his team in assists?
No.
So no, he don't cancel out no Draymond Green. Just answer my question for a
love
second.
it. I love
Without
it.
going back to whatever points you're trying to make, just answer my question, please. Okay? Okay? Heads up. Are you taking Draymond Green or Kevin Love? Just answer it.
He's
Oh,
from Saginaw,
man. Can
man.
you just- okay.
Draymond
Okay.
Green, man.
Klay Thompson or Kevin Love?
I'm Golden State. I'm gonna go Golden State all the time.
But okay,
I'm a bias.
remove yourself from that and
I'm a
just
bias.
take the jerseys off of them and just look at what they bring as players.
Oh, all right. And I hate to say this. I'm gonna take. Damn it! Because of the type of player he is, man. You're not fit to get 12 rebounds out of Klay Thompson. You feel me? You
Let's
gonna
get
get
Let's
20
get this on
points.
wax. Let's get this
You're gonna
on
get
wax.
20 points, but that's about all. You're
So
not fit to get. You're not fit to get 4 assists from Klay Thompson. You're not fit to get 10 rebounds from Klay Thompson. You only fit to get them 20 points from Klay Thompson. You fit to get some amazing shooting from him. Kevin Love gonna get you 12 rebounds and 20 points. You know what I'm saying? He don't play no defense, but he's still a big body in the middle. So I would have to say, as much as I hate to say it, I would have to say, give me Kevin Love. That's what I'm saying. They cancel each other out. Them teams are evenly matched, bro. Evenly matched. To me, you got Kevin Durant, you got LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, Draymond Green. Now this is where it gets fucked up. I can't name nobody else on that goddamn Cleveland Cavalier bench. None of them. I can name you damn near everybody on the Golden State. I mean, you want me to say Shannon
can't
Fry?
name.
You
You
want me to
know
say
them
Kyle
niggas.
Culver? You really
know
want me
who
to
them
say
niggas
this?
is.
No, I don't, man. Them niggas ain't no championship caliber team.
Iman
Them not no-
Shumpert, Richard
He
Jefferson.
a starter. And come
Right
on, man.
now because JR hurt.
Come on, man. I'm not. Don't none of those guys like. Whoa.
Look, let
I'm
me go.
I'm gonna take the Golden State bench over Cleveland bench. Is
Let
what
me
I'm
just go back and say this, because I never got to finish my full point. Okay, I'm not mad at LeBron for looking west, seeing that they're getting stronger, and he said it. He even specifically said this. He's like, look, once we get to the playoffs, 7, 8-man rotations, okay, I got this. But we got to get there first. And if you want me to be at my full strength when we get there, you need to bring us some more help right now, okay? So I think what he's talking about right now, he's talking about the future, okay? He's talking about the future, but he's talking about getting there and what's going to put him in the best physical shape. And also, don't forget, man, they gonna need that number 1 seed, okay? Because they lost 2 games in Toronto last year. So I don't want to hear that they don't need home court advantage. Home court advantage is important for the Cavaliers, okay?
Thanks for helping me out over there, Baby K. I was sure looking for the baby wine.
But did you just throw that? Oh no. But I agree with you somewhat. No, not player for player like that, because they bring different things to the table. Okay? And that's what LeBron is talking about. You with Golden State, you literally have, when those 4 guys are on the floor, they can all do the same things. They can all pass, shoot, and dribble and create, all 4 of them. Okay? Kevin Love can't do that.
He can
And
shoot.
Tristan,
He can shoot threes.
I
He can grab
said
rebounds.
all 3. Kevin Love can't. He has no handles. He can't go on the perimeter and create his own shot, bro.
All them boys can't go down in the post like Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson. You feel me?
True that. But it's a different game, man. It's a different game. Those types of players. I heard something interesting. A question that was proposed is like, do you think that the league will ever go back to being more big man centered? And what the person said was, they said, yeah, when guys like Joel Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Davis become the best players in the league. So hypothetically, maybe 5 years from now, when those guys are in their prime, and you might have to put bigger lineups out there to go deal with those guys once they come into their own and figure out what they're doing and get surrounded by better players. What do you think about that?
It's never gonna happen because 3 is always gonna be more than 2.
And I think kids are just gonna keep learning how to shoot farther and farther out. They're gonna practice it more and practice it more.
Even though 2 is a more percentage-wise shot.
You're right, man. The 3 game, because you come down and you bust 2 threes in a row. Okay, that's 6. And if you come down and you go 1 for 2 and you only get 2 and you down 6-2 and you run that back 3 times and then you down 18-6.
That's why Golden State be killing motherfuckers. And it's crazy because they are 5th in the league in 3-pointers. Like, that just goes to show you how much the league done. Just real fast, like, caught up with their ass real fast. There's 5 teams in the league shoot better 3-pointers than Golden State. You feel me? Like, that's crazy.
Right.
Seeing that that's their game and that's how they go about destroying motherfuckers. Because that's how they demoralize teams with that 3-pointer, bro. Like you said, because it was just Clay and Steph. And maybe Dre every once in a while. But now you got goddamn Durant stepping out there. You come off the bench. You got Livingston. You got the Ian Clark motherfucker hitting threes. Like, what the fuck? And they the 5th best. The damn Cavaliers is the best 3-point shooting team in the league.
No, they're not.
Yes, they is.
No, they're not. They had a bad month, man.
Well, yeah.
They're not. And for Houston shoots the most. They're on a record-setting pace to shoot the most. And I think probably either they or Golden State might have the highest percentage. The Cavs, they were up there earlier in the year, but January was a bad month for the Cavs, man. They went 7-8. The first time LeBron was on a losing month team since 2006. Went 11 years, man, without having a losing month in the NBA. It's stuff like that. I think LeBron is probably one of the most underappreciated athletes. And it's crazy to say that because, he's probably recognized as the best player in the NBA and has been for some time now. He's damn near 32 years old, and, he hasn't – he's managed to avoid major injuries and all these things that we just kind of take for granted. You know what I mean? Like, kind of just like, oh, that's what he's supposed to do, But whenever he messes up or doesn't do something, it's like the the end of the world. You know, people come down on him so hard. And the whole time he's come up, he's had to come up against this fighting, like he said, the ghost of 23. Okay? And you know who didn't have to do that? 23. He got to go out there and play pressure free. Who was they comparing him to? Nobody. At that point, when he came along, there wasn't no. I mean, there was guys like, I guess they compared him to Dr. J and other things like that. But nobody that had accomplished what he was accomplishing. At that point, you know, the big names in NBA all-time lore, they was big guys. You know, Bill, you had some guards in there, you know, like Jerry West, also Elvin Hayes, guys like that, Bob McAdoo. But when you're talking about NBA greats, you got big guys, Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain. So
it's some big. It's a nice class of bigs in the league right now. But like I said, the league is so 3-point oriented that it really you really don't even get a chance to showcase what they do if they can't step outside and hit that three. That's why Boobie Cousins had to add it to his repertoire.
Shout out.
Yes, as a big man, you got to be able to step out and hit that three nowadays.
Last topic before we get out of here. Our edition of the I Am the DJ show today. Let's talk about Black History Month for a little bit, okay? I saw a friend of mine, young brother. He's actually pretty much my age, but I saw him post this morning, and he said something along the lines of, why motherfuckers wait all year to celebrate Black history when they could be doing it all year? Basically, like, his assessment was, if you only celebrate Black history during Black History Month, then that's stupid. And, you know, I've kind of had sentiments like that before, kind of just being like, oh, why they only give us 28 days? Why this? Why that? And you know what? If you want, there's nothing that's stopping you from celebrating your Black History 365. It's something that I think everybody should do. You know, I try to support it in my own whatever ways I can. But, you know, enjoy the 28 days that the government, I mean, there's nothing special that happens for you. It's not like you get a Black History Month check. You know, it's not like that. But it is what we make it. And if we start coming together and start really putting events together during Black History Month, and, you know, there's something to be said about nationally recognized holidays and months and things like that. I think you can get a lot accomplished. I think about what Cancer Awareness Month. Think about the things that they do in October when you see the whole world turn pink for a month. For breast cancer, because a lot of people have been affected by it, you know, and there's people feel different. I've heard a lot of different things. I've heard it's just a big corporate scam, pretty much.
Big money being made. That's what people.
Oh, you know they're gonna be involved. But you know, I had a woman who spit it to me like pretty, where I got it. She was like, you know, where I pretty much realized that it was done for was when I saw pink KFC buckets. Because she's like, this is what the stuff that's causing cancer is the fats and, you know, the stuff that people are eating and putting into their body. So, you know, I can dig that. I can dig that being about something. But my overall feeling towards Black History Month, yeah, it sucks that it's in the shortest month. I think that is definitely kind of like a slight. But when you research the history of it, it started as just a week in this month. So it initially wasn't even intended to be an entire month. It just started off as a week that I believe just happened to be in February. So they decided to extend it.
Whose idea was it to be in this cold ass month of February? How we gonna celebrate in this cold ass month of February? Give us June. Shit.
Well, I think that's something else, and I've talked about that before, is that I feel like the Black community needs to do a better job of celebrating Juneteenth. And not only the Black community, but America. Because Juneteenth, which for those of you that don't know, that's a celebration of when the last slaves found out that they were not slaves anymore. the Civil War ended in April of 1865. But because there was no Twitter and there was no, there was newspapers and stuff, but a lot of things travel by word of mouth. So in the farthest outreaches of Texas, where the last slaves were, and nobody told, I'm sure people out there knew. I'm sure word got back to them that General Lee surrendered at the Appomattox courthouse. Okay, I'm sure they got word of that, but they didn't tell the niggers. They didn't tell them. But around Juneteenth of 1865.
The hell is Juneteenth?
Juneteenth is the blackest thing ever,
So
because
like,
they don't know. It's June
11th?
12th through the 19th. They don't know which day it was. They said it was. They said it, one of them got it on the 13th. One of them heard on the 14th. So they said, you know what? We just gonna call it Juneteenth. Now, if that ain't black, I don't know what is. But to me, the celebration, okay, because that wasn't just a victory for black people, that was a victory for all people who might potentially in the future be slaves in this country. That was the end of slavery. That was when the last legal slaves was told
that.
Yes, because I know there's
Legal
still slaves out there.
slaves.
There's still slaves out there. So when the last
And
legal
hell, it's
slaves,
still legal in a couple of places around this motherfucker.
man, that's a whole nother topic, Ty. That's a whole nother topic. But when they heard that and nobody else is a slave, so I think that that's something for everybody to celebrate. Whether you're Puerto Rican, white, Italian, Hungarian, Dutch, German, Honduran, Trinidadian, whatever, Martian. You can't be a slave in America, and that's when the last people found out. So, whenever the mainstream culture, the American government takes their time to recognize us, whether it be by a holiday, a month, a week, a day, whatever, I'm gonna celebrate that.
I think we should do what we do here in America and use this Juneteenth as an opportunity to capitalize off.
Hey, and you know what? I'm gonna leave. That's a good note. That's a good note to leave on. A great segue for my final point of this week. We are now in like probably the 10th or 11th day of the Donald Trump administration, and I'm seeing people just with the most outlandish statements, man. People crying the end of the world and all this and all that and all this and all that, just because they really don't like this dude. They really, and the media, he's in a war with the media. That's what y'all have to understand. He declared that, like, I'm in a war with the media. So you think the media is gonna spin stuff in a way that's gonna make you like him? He's telling you that. So everything that I hear, I kind of have to look in a couple different sources, and anything I read that's just overtly biased, I'm done with it. Because it can't come down to, once you start throwing out names and start talking about things that he's done in the past, like, I don't want to hear about that. Like, let's just talk about this specific thing, what's happening right now. And I might not necessarily have to agree with it, but do I think that it's the end of the world? Do I think that it's, the worst thing that could possibly be happening? In a lot of cases, no, probably not. It's not something that's going to make me want to get up and go out and protest, especially not when we are facing like much bigger issues in our country. I told people, I said, it took over 300-400 years for black people to become citizens in this country, and they built this motherfucker, okay? So if you got to wait 90 days, 900 days to come to America, I mean, that's fine with me. I don't really see the ability to travel back and forth between countries as an inalienable human right. Yeah, it's cool that you can do that, but if a country puts in a certain process that makes it a little longer for you to get there, I'm sorry, that's just something you got to deal with, okay? It's just something you got to deal with. And as far as it being people targeting it and saying, oh, this is a Muslim ban, no, it's not. Muslims ain't just from them countries. Largest Muslim country is Indonesia. They're not banned. You could be a Muslim and come from Great Britain. And let me tell you one last thing, okay? You can be a Muslim and you can hide in plain sight. Okay, how do you know when you see a Muslim? You identify them. You know, when you see somebody with the head wrap on,
They got big beards.
you see the beard. You say, okay, but you walk by Muslims every motherfucking day because they look like me. They look like Ty. They look like my daughter. They look like everybody on this earth.
Assalamualaikum assalam.
But let me tell you who does get profiled just on sight. Just on sight. Undoubtedly, they know that they looking at this person when they see him. And that's a black person. Undoubtedly.
Thai house.
That's undoubtedly. So while you can disguise being Muslim and hide your Muslim faith in sight and be perfectly fine and never be persecuted, you will never, ever, ever be able to hide your blackness. And you have to deal with that on a daily basis. So I sympathize with anybody out here in the world in their struggle, but they're not saying we're hanging all you Muslims. They're not even saying we're targeting Muslims. They coming at these specific people in these specific countries that, by the way, your beloved President Obama identified these countries even before Trump did. Okay? And he's been bombing these countries. I don't want nobody from over there coming over. I done seen way too many movies. I'm sorry. He bombed these countries. Obama! They just been dropping bombs over there. Like, you know the little nigga in the picture sprinkling the salt? That's how they been doing bombs. Obama is a Mac daddy. On the Middle East. Just sprinkling bombs on the Middle East. And no, I know every person that comes over from over there ain't trying to kill us. I know that. I know that there's more people over here in America that are more likely to kill me than somebody over there. I know that. But you know what? I can't deport these American people. I can't say, all you potential murderers, get out of here. That's impossible. But you know what you can say?
You definitely can't say that when that's what this fucking country was built off of. They sent all the fucking rapists and murderers and thieves over here to build this country. So you definitely can't tell the murderers and rapists and thieves to get out.
To get out and leave. Fucking barbarians. But you know what you can do? You can say, hey, these people that live and have spent time in these countries that have large populations of people who make radical statements about disliking our country, you know what? We're going to do a little bit more checking before we let you come over. And we don't really care if you're not okay with that. And to all the professionals out there that are getting held up, all the athletes and the doctors and all these people, you know what I say to those people? It sucks. I'm sorry you're going through whatever delays you're going through, but when you signed up for that position to travel internationally, you have to accept that there may be something that gets held up with TSA, or there might be a terrorist attack or something. You know, these things happen.
But you gotta realize, like, all right, I'm on vacation.
Yes.
You dig? And my vacation over. It's time for me to come back home and get back to work. Now I get here to this damn border and you tell me I got to wait 90 days. I ain't got no money to live over here for 90 fucking days. I gotta get back to work.
I gotta get home. It's fucked up. I'm not saying that it's right, but I ain't saying it's wrong. I ain't gonna say that, because you know who Donald Trump's number one priority is to? Number one? Americans, y'all.
He baffles me with bullshit.
Americans, not people that live in Syria and Iran and Iraq and all them other countries. Not those people.
But I'm saying though, me as an American,
I know.
I've been here in America all my life.
But you're talking about,
I want to expand my horizons and go to London or
I understand that, but say there's 1 million of those people right now. Say there's 1 million of those people that are in that situation right now that are going to be inconvenienced. I just hope and pray for the American citizens that are going through these hardships. If they face some kind of like financial hardship because of this, I hope that the government enacts something to help them out and to somehow reimburse them. Like if I'm an American,
nigga, we still waiting on reparations.
Hey. We're gonna be waiting for a long time. Okay?
man. Yeah, I don't.
But you know, I just hope there's like an American embassy. Okay, say I'm an American, I'm in Iraq playing basketball. They won't let me back over. Like there should be some type of American embassy or something that I can go to and say, hey, I'm stuck here during the vetting process. Right.
We're gonna put
they
you
gonna
up.
be like, we got you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, just when people are just automatically hearing about this and assuming the worst, just off rip, just because it's Trump and because, you know, he's this guy who they think he is, I can't get down with that. You know, you got to dig beneath the surface and come up with some new viewpoints. And I guess I thought about this today. All my life, man, I just been one of those people that when I see everybody walking this way, I go down that way. You know why? Because I just want to see what's going on. I can always turn around and go back and follow everybody because it's 40 of them. And I can see exactly where they're going. But before I do that, I'm going to go the other way and see what they all walking away from. Because I'm a curious motherfucker. I want to know. You know, like, if y'all all walking that way, what's over here? Let me just go peep this out. Because I might like this over here. And I found out throughout my life that mentality has served me well. Because we live in a society where groupthink prevails. And we are all encouraged to conform. There's been studies done on it. And the powers that be, they know this, you know? So things that we're fed, whenever I see a lot of people with the same idea, man, it just makes me question it. I say pause. I have to figure out what's going on. But, man, it's been great chilling with y'all.
Legalize weed.
Please do that. Now, if I hear everybody talking about that, I know it's time. I'm definitely going that way. I'm not going the other way when I hear everybody talking about that. Definitely following the crowd on that one. Until next time, I do believe that we will be back with you next Wednesday, bringing you another edition of the I Am the DJ show. I might definitely have to bring Kenny in with me because that's going to be the day before her birthday. And we might just have to do a little reminiscing because that will probably be the most memorable I Am the DJ show of my life, which is the day that I came in and did the show on the same day that she was born, on February 9th, 2016, the greatest day in the history of my life, and also the last day of my life as I knew it, coincidentally. R.I.P. DJ. Holla at your daddy. For Ty House, this is I Am the DJ. This was my show. We'll be back next week. Since 1974radio.com.
Hey, make sure y'all check out J News in the morning, man, 9 o'clock.